What's up, guys? Welcome to this edition of a Funko podcast. I am DK Wrestler.
And I'm MD Shady.
And in today's podcast, of course, is all about the top 10 Funko Pops of November 2023. Of course, we haven't actually gone through the entire month of November yet. You're probably wondering why we're talking about November right now instead of waiting a week when November would be officially over. But for us, actually, MD is going to be going on a special trip next weekend in which we had to do this pod a little bit earlier and actually have the next two podcasts recorded. So MD, do you want to quickly talk about this little trip that may or may not also have a video along with it?
Yeah, so for one day only, me and my mom are actually going on a bus trip over to New York City. It will be my first time in New York City. Super excited for that. And yes, I will be bringing the camera so I can get a video or two filmed, hopefully. We're going to hit up places like the Nintendo shop. We're going to go to FAO Schwartz. We're going to go look at the tree. We're going to do a bunch of stuff and you guys will be along for the ride. And I think it's going to be a great time. So yeah, I won't be around next week, unfortunately, for filming. So we're getting this pod done today.
Yeah, so we basically have from November 1st to November 20th as we were recording this. Today is actually November 21st, and nothing's been announced yet as of today. So we just have until the 20th. The rest, we won't be doing an update. Let's get through the pops that we have thus far, I guess, for November. First selection ranges from November 1st to November 3rd, which there's quite a bit to talk about. The first announcement we have on November 1st, it is a Texas Rangers 5-pack based on the World Series win, which features players of Adolis Garcia, Marcus Semien, Jonah Heim, Max Scherzer, and Corey Seager, which this is exclusive to Fanatics, and I believe it will be limited to 5,000 pieces. November 2nd, the Funko Shop had announced their own exclusive pop of a metallic diva from Overwatch, which will be a part of a pop and bag bundle. Then we have pops for Star Trek. It's a newer Star Trek in which we have ourselves Badgie, Beckett Mariner, Bradward Boiler, Divana Tendi, and Samantha Rutherford. And then we have a wave of pops from season 3 of The Mandalorian, which we have pops of Bo-Katan on Throne as a pop deluxe, Grogu in Hovering Pod, Pelimoto with Grogu, The Mandalorian with Blaster and Darksaber, The Mandalorian Judge, The Armorer, Paz Vizsla, and a pop Rides of The Mandalorian. Then on November 3rd, Funko had announced a pop for Funko Fridays at Target, which is Campaign Eddie as a pop deluxe from Stranger Things. And then on that same day, Funko announced a pop of Dawn Personal Watercraft Salesman from the Low-Key Season 2 series, also exclusive to Target. And then Drop had officially confirmed the redeemable pops for the Powerpuff Girls Funko NFTs, which we have legendary pops of Buttercup, Bubbles, Blossom, and Professor Utonium limited to 1,800 pieces. The Grail being Mojo Jojo limited to 999 pieces. And then for the royalty, it's Freddy Funko as Mojo Jojo limited to 2,700 pieces. Continuing on, we have a wave of pops for the Ahsoka Star Wars series, which we have common pops of Morgan Elsbeth, Grand Admiral Thrawn, Balin Skull, Shin Hati, Blue and White Thrawn's Night Troopers, and then exclusive pops of Captain Enoch, exclusive to Entertainment Earth, Ahsoka, exclusive to Hot Topic, and a Phase 1 Clone Trooper, exclusive to the Funko Shop. And then last but not least for the selection, we have ourselves confirmed by Funko finally, the new wave of WWE Pops, which features a 2-pack of Jimmy and Jey Uso, The Rock, Rick Rude, Vader, John Cena, Skull King Triple H in a pop deluxe form, and Stone Cold with Zamboni as a pop rise. All right, so kicking off with this Texas Rangers 5-pack, I do enjoy the idea that they're doing here where basically the winner of said championship for a sport will get some sort of exclusive pop, whether it's in a 5-pack or with the hockey one, we've seen it with the Stanley Cup, like they normally do with some of the chases for the hockey lineup. So I do enjoy this idea, and I hope they keep continuing this. Then we have ourselves Diva from Overwatch, and I don't know, I feel like this is a little meh, especially because we've seen quite a bit of Diva pops originally, and now they're just doing this as an idea for another way to do a pop and bag bundle, which never sells, even if it's limited to 3,000 or 4,000 pieces. It's so pointless because no one wants the bag, they want the pop itself. Then we have ourselves Star Trek Lower Decks, that's what it's called, pops, and these are pretty decent. I like how you can definitely tell it's more of an animation style for Star Trek, especially the way that the pops look, and this does look like a pretty decent season set. Then we have pops for The Mandalorian season 3. And it's a little weird that we're getting this announcement now because it's been quite a while since we've seen Mandalorian season 3. I believe that was literally at the beginning of the year. So surprising that we didn't get this over the summer. But nonetheless, the majority of these pops, they're not too bad. Then we got the campaign Eddie, and this is not too bad. I can definitely tell this is for like when they're about to do their Dungeons and Dragons game, because obviously Eddie is the headmaster of the Hellfire Club, and that's actually a pretty decent way to make a pop like this. I'm surprised it's not like a build-a-scene involving the other members of the Hellfire Club. And then we have Dawn from Loki season 2, which obviously is like a version of Mobius. This is really cool, and I didn't know about this until I seen the episode. Like the pop got announced before I got to see the episode, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I can understand this. And I'm kind of surprised with how this moment actually is in the show, that this wasn't like a Comic-Con exclusive limited to X amount of pieces. Then we got ourselves the Powerpuff Girls pops, and these aren't too bad. I do like the selection, especially we have the Powerpuff Girls all with different instruments. The Mojo Jojo is pretty decent. Professor Utonium obviously has to be the fan favorite because it's never been made into pop form before. And then Freddy Funko as Mojo Jojo, not too bad. I feel like there's been better Freddy Funko royalty pops. And then we have the Ahsoka series pops, which we heard about these, I think, about a couple months ago, but hasn't been confirmed by Funko until now. And the Grand Admiral Thrawn is all right. And then we have ourselves some of the pops like Balin's Skull, which is pretty sweet. And then we have the exclusive pops, which I think are pretty much the highlight, especially Captain Enoch. That's a Entertainment Earth exclusive. A lot of people are excited about the possibility of that being a pop, and that's pretty cool. And I do like the Phase 1 Clone Trooper also. And then last but not least for the selection, of course, the WWE pops. You guys know that both MD and I are big fans of the WWE lineup, and so we got some banger pops, but not so banger pops at the same time. I mean, the Usos finally getting a 2-pack. That is absolutely amazing. I actually did, it was earlier this year for our wish list podcast that I wanted to see a new wave of WWE pops that featured the Usos in a 2-pack. And we got it here with all the bloodline gear. Definitely makes sense. The Rick Rude's pretty cool with the pants. Vader is a little bit weird only because of the fact they added a goatee. I get it because he has more of like kind of like stubble going on. But whenever they do stubble for Funko Pops, I find it just looks like a goatee rather than actual stubble. So it looks a little bit awkward, but nonetheless, very awesome that Vader is finally made into a pop. And then we got the Skull King Triple H Pop Deluxe. That's pretty cool. And I've seen this pop in person. I didn't expect for the pop to actually also be 6 inches because you can definitely tell by the size of the head and how massive that is. And I prefer this one over the one that they did where it was a common and a chase, where the chase was the Skull King crown there. And then the Stone Cold Steve Austin with Zamboni, which I will say that considering that it has a different name according to the box, but I refuse to say that name because it's just dumb, especially because you see on the glam shot that they are acknowledging the word Zamboni. So I don't know why they couldn't add it on the box to begin with.
All right, so starting off with the 5-pack for the championships, or the champions of the MLB this year being the Texas Rangers. This is pretty cool. I really like the fact that they're doing this with different sports. I wish that the hockey ones were more of like a 5-pack rather than what we've seen with, I think the pop was Jack Eichel. And then we have Diva with the pop and bag combo. This is okay. I actually do enjoy this Diva pop. I think that the metallic look to it is definitely okay. It's not one of my favorite Diva pops because I think the OG is probably the best in my opinion, but this one's pretty good. I definitely like it. Next up, we have the pops for Star Trek Lower Decks, and I actually haven't heard anything about this considering I'm not really a Star Trek fan, but when I saw these pops, yeah, you can definitely tell that it is an animated series, and I'm kind of interested in it now that I see the pops. And then we have pops for the Mandalorian, and these are okay. I don't think we need a ton of Mando pops anymore. I think what we've gotten so far is pretty good. Maybe an exclusive here or there, but I don't really feel like we need any more waves of Mando pops per se. And then we have the Eddie with Campaign Deluxe Pop. This is pretty sweet. I really enjoy this. I kind of wish that this was like a build-a-set so you can get some of the boys as well, and you can have like the whole campaign table going on. I think that that would be really cool. But this pop standalone is also really sweet, of course, because Eddie was the dungeon master for their campaign. So that's really dang sweet. I like that pop a lot. And then we have this pop from Loki. I have no clue about this character because I haven't actually watched season 2 of Loki yet, but I've heard good things, so I'll probably check it out. And honestly, this pop looks pretty sweet the way it is. Then we have the NFT pops, and these are pretty sweet. I like this set. This makes a lot of sense how they're going to want to get the Powerpuff Girls to have their own pops in this. So having them with the instruments, I think, is the best way to go about that. And I think it looks really cool. The Mojo Jojo is also pretty sweet. I love how you can see his brain and how he doesn't have like the cap on it, which is cool. The quantum physics books is awesome as well. So that's pretty sweet. And then, of course, Professor Utonium being my favorite out of this. This is great to finally see a Professor pop. This is really cool. I definitely would have liked to pull this pop, but I didn't open packs. So I probably will have to go on the Atomic Hub or whatever and get this pop because it's one that I think I'm going to need to add to the collection because I do have quite a few of the Powerpuff Girls pops. And then the Freddy Funko as Mojo Jojo. This one makes sense. I like it. I don't think it's the greatest Freddy Funko, but it's not too bad. And then we have the pops for Ahsoka, and this is a pretty cool wave. I think that all of these pops are pretty good. We're seeing some characters for the first time, which is awesome. And then the exclusives are pretty cool as well. I really like the Phase 1 Trooper. I think that that's really sweet. I don't know. I just really enjoy the look of that pop. And then lastly, we have the WWE pops, and this is a pretty good set of pops. The Usos are sweet. I really enjoy that 2-pack. I think they look great. Jay with the crop top is hilarious as well. I think that that's really cool. The Rock, kind of lackluster. The John Cena is actually not that bad. Of course, we have seen a bunch of John Cena pops in the past, but this one's cool how he has his like towel there that he's showing, where he's showing it to like Stu, the cameraman. So that's really cool. The Rick Rude, the paints look great on that. That's a cool pop. And then we have Vader. Vader was a pop that I did want to see in the WWE lineup, and now we finally have it. And I think that they did a pretty good job on it. I do have a couple gripes with it, but I'll get to that later on. Then we have the Triple H, and this is interesting. When I seen this in stores, I was very surprised to see that it was a 6-inch. I don't think that it's necessary, but at the same time, it kind of looks badass in a 6-inch form. And then we got Stone Cold with the Zamboni, and this pop is pretty dang sweet as well. What a screw up on the name, though. That makes absolutely no sense to call it what they did, especially considering I would assume that they have the licensing to say the word Zamboni, so that's just ridiculous.
All right, so the next set of Funko Pops ranges from November 6th to November 10th. So starting off November 6th, Netflix had announced their own exclusive pop of a covers for Eddie from Stranger Things. And then Funko announced a Funko Shop exclusive 18-inch Loki for the Marvel lineup. Then on November 8th, GameStop had announced their own exclusive mystery box for Black Friday, which is themed Deadpool, which we have pops of Snow Day Deadpool, Deadpool with Jeff, Deadpool Bunny, and Pumpkin Spice Deadpool. Then Funko announced their own exclusive pop of Silent Bob with camera from Clerks 3, and then also announced a gold Albus Dumbledore from Harry Potter as a part of a pop and bag bundle. Continuing on, Funko announced a set of pops for Robin Hood that features Robin Hood, Little John, Fiora Tuck, Prince John, Maid Marian, and then Sheriff of Nottingham. And then Chow's Collectibles that day announced their own exclusive pop of Sniper King with a 1-in-6 chase. Then on November 9th, Funko had announced an exclusive 2-pack of Pong, Krell, and Captain Rex from Star Wars The Clone Wars, which will be exclusive to GameStop. Then we have ourselves a set of pops for the TV series Yellow Jackets, which features pops of Misty, Tysa, Shauna, Jackie, Natalie, Lodi, Van, and Ben. And then we have ourselves, confirmed by Funko, is the Pop Deluxe moments of Snowman, Jack, and Carolers from The Nightmare Before Christmas. And then last but not least, November 10th, as a part of Funko Fridays over at Target, is a Target exclusive Batman for the DC Comics lineup, and then an Amazon exclusive Hulk that's a part of a pop and pin bundle. All right, so kicking off with the Eddie covers, and was this really necessary? I don't exactly know. I get it, like it's an iconic scene at this point of Eddie playing Master of Puppets, and you got Dustin in the background, but they are just milking the hell out of this mold because obviously you had the one in the deluxe moments, the Phase 3 moments that came out. Then you had the blacklight one, and then there was the singular one that came out in the set, and then they also had recently a metallic exclusive of this same molding that can actually be seen, if you're a fellow Canadian, over at GameStop. So I just feel like, why do they just keep doing this? And I mean, Cool if you want that Netflix shop exclusive sticker in your collection, but it's just like, it's just another way to get this molding out, and I just think it was a little bit pointless. Then we have the 18-inch Loki, another pointless pop. Why are we seeing 18-inch pops? They don't really sell that much. I even seen recently a 18-inch All Might at my local GameStop just rotting on, it's not even on a shelf because it's too big, rotting on the floor, I guess I'm going to say. No one cares about these 18-inch pops. They just need to eliminate them overall. And then we have the Deadpool pops from the mystery box. I'm sure that MD's going to have a lot to say about Deadpool in a hateful way, but these pops aren't exactly too bad, I guess. I do like the Deadpool with Jeff. I think that's funny how they called the shark's name Jeff. Then we have the Silent Bob with camera from Clerks 3, and this isn't entirely too bad. It's cool to see pops for Clerks 3. There is the common pops also, but of course, Funko never officially confirmed them on social media besides their website, so we can't really talk about those at the moment. And then the gold Albus Dumbledore. This is super pointless. Like, stop it with these pop and bag bundles. Like, this is just getting out of hand, especially when the pop isn't even that good. Then we have the wave of Robin Hood pops. These are pretty cool. I don't remember the last time we had updated Robin Hood pops besides maybe those OG pops. So this is pretty cool, especially with the Prince John. And then, of course, Robin Hood himself looks pretty cool. Then we have Sniper King from One Piece. This is a pretty cool looking pop, especially with the molding of the head sculpt. I think that's pretty decent. Then we have ourselves the Clone Wars 2-pack with Captain Rex and Pong Krell. This is pretty cool. You get a new character, plus you have a character that we haven't gotten in pop form in years, since the OG Captain Rex singular pop is worth like $600 now. So obviously the cheaper route now to get it is in this 2-pack. Then we have the Yellow Jackets pops. Never seen the show, so I don't know what it's about or who the characters are, hence why probably some of the names were butchered by me. But nonetheless, these look decent, I guess. Then we have the deluxe moments of Snowman, Jack, and the Carolers, and this is all right, I guess. I mean, cool, they made one for Nightmare Before Christmas because it is the 30th anniversary this year, so pumping out more pops. We got Batman for Funko Fridays. This one's a little meh. Like, I mean, it gives off that kind of vibe of like Batman Beyond, but nonetheless, I mean, it's hard to really tell like what the difference is a lot of times with Batman pops nowadays because they've made so many. And last but not least, we have the Hulk pop, and this is actually pretty cool, and I like kind of like the cell shading look to this pop.
All right, so starting off with the Netflix exclusive Eddie cover. This is very interesting. I agree with DK. They're definitely milking this pose, but they're also kind of milking Eddie. There's a lot of Eddie pops now, and I don't necessarily think that it's necessary at all. Like, I like them, not gonna lie, but I don't want to have to buy all of these Eddies for my Stranger Things collection when essentially, especially with this one, it's just the same pop. It's just a little bit different. But I do like the way that this one looks, how it looks like it has that blue shading to it for the upside down, which is cool. And I like the cover itself. I'll definitely be getting this. The Netflix sticker is super interesting. It's interesting to see Netflix actually having their own exclusive pop. So there's enough here to make me want to get this. But some of the other ones, it's just like, I don't really want to have to buy them. I've seen the common singular Eddie at GameStop and I still haven't even bought it because I'm like, I just don't really need that one, though I would like a full set of Stranger Things. Then we have the 18-inch Loki. I personally like 18-inch pops. I think that they're a really cool piece to display. They are definitely huge, so it's tough to display them, but they are really dang cool. But I feel like Loki's just not the character to make into 18-inch form. I get it, like season 2 just came out, so there's a little bit of hype right now for Loki, but I feel like there's other characters that could be done in 18-inch form before we see a Loki pop. And speaking of other things that I hate, the Deadpool mystery box for Black Friday. This sucks. I hate Deadpool pops as it is. And I love the idea of the Black Friday mystery boxes. I loved buying them in the past. But for the last like 3 or 4 years, it feels like they've just been so trash, in my opinion. Just stuff that I don't care about. And especially with Deadpool, like this is so thrown together, it feels like. And these pops are like, okay, like there's some merit to these pops, but at the same time, like you have all 4 seasons here, of course, with winter, summer, spring, and then fall. I kind of like the theme for it, but I hate Deadpool pops, and this is unfortunate because every year I kind of look forward to the Black Friday mystery boxes, and then I get let down a lot of the time. So yeah, super disappointed with this one. Then we have the Silent Bob with camera. This is okay. It doesn't feel like it's enough of a change to really make me want to get it from, let's say, the Silent Bob pop that I have in my collection, but it's cool that we are getting some pops for Clerks 3. Then we have the gold Albus Dumbledore. This is okay, I guess. It kind of makes sense to be gold, kind of doesn't, but it's okay. And of course, it is a pop and backpack bundle. So I don't know. The backpack's not the greatest, but it's not too bad at all. I feel like some hardcore Harry Potter fans are definitely going to want to get this. And then we have the new wave of pops for Robin Hood, and this is great. These look amazing. Prince John, love that character, so I think he looks pretty cool. Robin Hood looks cool. The rest of the characters look really great as well. This is a really decent lineup, so fans of this movie are definitely going to want to get their hands on these. And then we have the Chalice Collectibles One Piece pop, and it's cool that we're seeing a pop from Chalice that has a chase, and it's not just a glow chase. There's actually a difference between the pops. The head molds are the same, but the bodies are slightly different with the like arms crossed posing. I don't necessarily think that that pop looks great compared to the other one, but it's still cool to see something other than a glow chase. And then we have the Star Wars 2-pack exclusive to GameStop. This is pretty cool. I like this, and I also don't like this because it's a new Captain Rex pop, and I feel like it can definitely drive down the price of the OG Captain Rex pop, which I do have in my collection, because people can just get this 2-pack if they want to get a Captain Rex. But I don't know, it's still a pretty dang good 2-pack. And then we have the pops for Yellow Jackets, and I know nothing about this show. I feel like I've heard some of my coworkers talking about it, perhaps, but I don't really know anything about it. But these pops do look pretty cool. I don't even know what the show's about, so it's definitely interesting to see these pops. And then we have the deluxe moments for the Nightmare Before Christmas. And this is pretty cool. I have seen this in person and it looks great. I love these deluxe moment pops. I think that there hasn't really been one that was absolutely terrible. And I think that they're so displayable and so nice. So this one's definitely cool. And then we have the Batman. And yeah, there's not a whole lot going on with this. It's mostly one color, which is unfortunate. And like DK said, there's been so many Batman pops that it's like, oh, I feel so bad for people that collect, let's say, just Batman pops, because there's so many of them and a lot of them are very alike. And then lastly, we have the Hulk pop and pin combo, and this pop's okay. I don't love it and I don't hate it, so I guess that's really all I can say about it.
All right, so the last selection of Funko Pops we're going to be talking about before moving on to the top 10 list ranges from November 13th to November 20th. So starting off November 13th, Funko had confirmed a Pop Deluxe of God Loki from Loki Season 2, which is exclusive to the Funko shop, of course. And then GameStop had announced their own exclusive pop of a deceased Joker as a blacklight pop that will be a part of a Pop and Tea bundle. Then on November 14th, Box Lunch had confirmed their own pop of a glow-in-the-dark Bruno Madrigal from Encanto, and then Funko officially confirmed the Marvel holiday pops that features Iron Man, Spider-Man, She-Hulk, Deadpool, and Wolverine. Then November 15th, Funko had confirmed a pop of Cher for the Rocks lineup that's based off of her Living Proof farewell tour, and then Fundum had announced their own exclusive glow-in-the-dark pop of Missouri Kenroji from Demon Slayer. Then on November 16th, Funko had confirmed the pops for The Muppets Christmas Carol, which features common pops of Charles Dixon's with Rizzo, Bob Cratchit with Tiny Tim, Mrs. Cratchit, Scrooge, Marley Brothers 2-pack, and Fozziwig, with exclusive pops of a glow-in-the-dark Marley Brothers 2-pack for the Funko shop and a blocked Charles Dickens with Rizzo that'll be going to Amazon. And then Previews announced their own exclusive pop of a Dark Leonardo for the comics lineup. Then November 17th, once again, Funko confirms a pop for Funko Fridays, exclusive to Target, which is of a new Grand Admiral Thrawn from Star Wars Rebels. And then Funko announced an exclusive pop of a Snoop Dogg that is from the 2002 BET Awards that is exclusive to the Doghouse. And then we have ourselves exclusive to the Funko shop is a Diamond Collection Cheshire Cat that is a part of a Pop and Bag bundle. And then last but not least, Funko had announced yesterday, as we are recording this, a glow-in-the-dark pop of Soldier Boy from The Boys, which of course is exclusive to the Funko shop. All right, so talking about the god Loki, and this pop is wicked. And I mean, if you know, you know that this was a part of that season finale. What a crazy season Loki season 2 was. It honestly may be probably the best work Marvel has done in terms to a Disney Plus series. That's even better than WandaVision. The deceased Joker, this is actually pretty cool. I like the black light effect because they basically just stayed true to the colors of what normally Joker is, with like the purple outfit and the green hair, but then it was just up to the eyes and the skin to see what they are. And I mean, the skin being yellow, that's cool. And then you have basically the blood splatter being like that purpley magenta color that you normally see with blood. So I do enjoy that. Then we have the glow in the dark Bruno, which I feel like this is like the second glow in the dark Bruno, but it is a different molding, I believe. And then we have the Marvel holiday pops. We see these every year. The fact that Funko decides, I guess it's a perfect timing to announce them now, considering it is the holidays, but at the same time, it's like these have been out for at least a month and a half prior to the announcement, so people already knew about this. Then we have the Share pop. I mean, did we really need another Share? Not exactly. The glow in the dark Demon Slayer pop. This thing looks wicked with the glow in the dark specification, especially with the pink and the green from her hair. Oh, and I guess the green eyes also. It just pops out really nicely. Then we have the Muppets Christmas Carol pops. This was also another announcement that the pop showing up about a month and a half before this was announced, so we already knew about this. But nonetheless, seeing these are pretty cool, especially seeing a Kermit pop for the first time in like many years. I thought it was like a decade, but then I totally forgot about that superhero Kermit that was exclusive to Emerald City Comic Con back in, I believe, 2017. But nonetheless, seeing basically the first wave of Muppets pops, I should say, in like 10 years is absolutely amazing, especially seeing basically Waldor and Statler having their first Funko Pops in this case for the lineup. Then we have the Dark Leonardo, and this is pretty cool. I mean, we had the last Ronin not too long ago, but I'm just surprised they didn't just do like a full-on wave, because I feel like at this point, even though I don't know nothing about this kind of certain Ninja Turtles, that there's probably like Raphael and Donatello versions, because I believe the last Ronin was Michelangelo. So I'm surprised that they didn't release pops like that and then have them all released at the same time. Then we have the Grand Admiral Thrawn for Star Wars Rebels. Kind of cool to see some new Rebels pops. I mean, the anniversary is coming up in 2024, plus Rebels was kind of a huge focal point of the Ahsoka series. So I guess it's cool that they're doing that. I don't exactly know whether I like this better than the OG Grand Admiral Thrawn, but nonetheless, I mean, still cool to see more Rebels pops. The new Snoop Dogg pop, this isn't too bad. I mean, we've seen quite a bit of Snoop Dogg pops already, so I can't remember exactly all of them to say, like, is this one of the best or this is one of the worst. Then we have the Diamond Collection Cheshire Cat. Like, once again, I'm going to say it for like the third time. Stop it with these pop and bag bundles. Like, these are ridiculous. Like, I think the last time they sold out of one just so happened to be the Buzz Lightyear pop and bag bundle, that I'm still looking for that pop. And then ever since then, like, every pop and bag bundle they've done has not sold out, because no one wants to pay $120 US for both a bag and a pop. And then last but not least, we have ourselves the glow in the dark Soldier Boy from The Boys. And this is a little meh. I mean, all of that glows is basically the lighter parts of his chest there. So I don't know if it was really necessary to make it glow in the dark, in my opinion.
All right, so first up, we have the God Loki. And like I said, I haven't seen season 2 of Loki, but this pop looks wicked. I really enjoy how this turned out, and I think that this is going to sell pretty dang well. Then we have the Blacklight Deceased Joker Pop and Tea bundle, and this is very interesting. I really enjoy how the pop looks. Like DK said, you follow the same format for colorway as Joker would normally have, and I think that that's the best way to do this. It looks great. But what's very interesting to me is that the t-shirt itself is not a blacklight version of the deceased Joker. But with that being said, I also think that this might be the best t-shirt that we've seen from Funko as terms to pop and tea bundles. This t-shirt looks wicked. It looks so cool the way that it is. It's like kind of nostalgic in a way. It's weird. Just the styling of this t-shirt is just so cool. I really enjoy it. Then we have the glow in the dark Bruno, and this is unnecessary. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the second glow in the dark pop for Bruno. It is a little bit different, but it's not really enough to make it like some great pop, though the Bruno pops are pretty sweet. Then we have the holiday themed DC pops, or DC Marvel pops, And these are pretty cool. I mean, not huge on the holiday pops. I do think they're cool for like displaying around the holiday times, depending on what holiday it is. But I don't know, these ones just feel a little lackluster. Though the Wolverine, I really enjoy how he has the snow on his head and then he's got the sign that says Bah Humbug. I think that that's pretty hilarious. Then we have the Share Pop. This was interesting, but I don't really care about it. I think that the original Share Pop was a lot better than this one. And then we have this Demon Slayer Pop, which just looks amazing with this glow. The pink and the green look really cool. I definitely want to see the glow actually like done in person, whether it's actually seeing it in person or through like a YouTube video or such. And then we have the Muppets Christmas Carol Pops, and these are fire. These are so cool. I'm so excited about this. Muppets is one of my favorite things to collect throughout my whole life, pretty much. So it's awesome to see more Muppets Pops. I hope that we do continue to see more down the road, but these are great. Of course, Charles Dickens and Rizzo is great. A great poppin' buddy, and then Bob Cratchit as well as Tiny Tim. Again, two poppin' buddies. That's really cool. And then Mrs. Cratchit, obviously being Miss Piggy. Scrooge the Marley Bros is so sweet to see as a 2-pack. That is awesome. And then, of course, Fozzie Bear as Foswig. That's really cool. And then we got exclusives, which is awesome. The Glow in the Dark Marley Brothers is sweet. Definitely going to be looking out for that pop. And then the Charles Dickens and Rizzo Flocked Amazon exclusive. That's so cool as well. Definitely need to have that in my collection. Flocked Muppets Pops are amazing, and I can't wait to get this one. And like I said, hopefully we do see more Muppets Pops down the road because I'll be eating them up. They're great. And then we have the Dark Leonardo. This is pretty cool. I like this. It's nice to see some Ninja Turtles Pops that aren't just your ordinary Ninja Turtles stuff for, like, let's say, the retro toys or for the new movie. It's nice to see something a little bit different with the comic versions of the Turtles. And then we have Grand Admiral Thrawn from Rebels, and I really like this pop. I think this is better than the one that we've seen for the Ahsoka wave. There's just a little bit more detail going on with it, which is surprising because it is an animated show and not like a live action show. So either way, this pop's really cool. I like this one a lot. And then we have the Snoop Dogg pop. This is pretty sweet. I like this version of Snoop Dogg. This one looks good. I kind of wish that it was flocked. I'm not sure if it is or not, but that would be really cool to see some flocking on here. And then we have the Diamond Collection Cheshire Cat Pop and Bag Bundle. This is crazy that we're seeing 3 of these in one pod because, yeah, they're just not that great. Some people do love these Loungefly bags. I personally wish that I had one, but there hasn't really been a bag that's like stood out to me where I'm like, oh yeah, I could definitely rock this. So I haven't gotten any and I don't really plan on it. But the Diamond Collection on the Cheshire Cat is okay. Of course, we've seen this molding for Cheshire Cat a couple times now, I believe, with the normal. I believe there was a flocked one and now the Diamond Collection. So yeah, the same molding is weird, but they're going to do what they're going to do. And then lastly, we got Soldier Boy from The Boys. This is hilarious. I thought it was hilarious that this character's name was Soldier Boy, of course, with the artist Soldier Boy. Yeah, I don't know. This one's super lackluster with the glow on it. I mean, maybe one of the worst glows we've seen in quite some time. Of course, we haven't seen it glow in person, but there's just not enough there that glows. So I don't know. It's not one of the greatest pops.
All right, so now it's time for the top 10 Funko Pops of November 2023, or at least thus far, even though there for sure will not be an update because of our busy podcast schedule in December. But nonetheless, like usual, back and forth. So I guess I'll start off first, of course. Coming in at number 10 on my list is the GameStop exclusive Blacklight Deceased Joker. I think this is a pretty cool pop. The blacklight was done right where you weren't really changing all the colors. It's just adding the blacklight colors of the existing colors, if that makes sense of what I just said.
Coming in at number 10 on my list is the Pop and Bag Bundle of Diva. Of course, I'm just talking about the pop. I like this pop, though it is an existing mold. I do kind of like the metallic feel to it. I think that that looks really sweet. Diva is my favorite character to play in Overwatch, so I definitely like seeing pops of her. Unfortunately, though, I did sell my Overwatch collection of pops, so I don't think I'll be getting this, and that's why it only came to number 10 on this list.
Coming in at number 9, it's time. It's Vader time. Vader from the WWE lineup. And I'm really excited that there is a Vader pop. It looks really awesome, but I think it's honestly that goatee that just throws me off.
Coming in at number 9 on my list is also Vader. I really wanted to see Vader in the WWE lineup of pops, and now we do see him, and that is great. I do have a couple gripes with the pop, though, and that is why it's only at 9. Those gripes, of course. DK saying about the goatee. Yeah, it does look a little weird. I feel like you do have to give him facial hair because he does have facial hair, but the goatee just looks kind of weird. And then my other gripe is that, unfortunately, he's not fat enough. The body looks really skinny, especially considering the size of pop heads. So the proportions are just kind of off. So it's weird. Vader was a big dude, a very agile big dude at that. So it's just not great because the body doesn't look quite big enough that I would like to see.
Coming in at number 8 on my list is the Chalice Collectibles exclusive Chase version of Sniper King. This is a really cool looking pop. It's a very different head sculpt compared to a lot of Funko Pops. And overall, I mean, when has there really been a bad One Piece pop, at least this year in 2023?
Coming in at number 8 on my list is the previews exclusive Dark Leonardo. I think this pop looks sweet. And again, like I said earlier, it's really cool to see some new Turtles pops that aren't necessarily from like the movies or the TV show, the Retro Toys lineup. So seeing a comic book version of Leo is really dang sweet. And it's just different. It's a nice change of pace.
Coming in at number 7 on my list, it is the Entertainment Earth exclusive Captain Enoch from Ahsoka. This is a really cool looking Funko Pop. I mean, the character already looked cool in the series, so it was really cool to see it in pop form, and they did a fairly decent job.
Number 7 on my list is the Usos 2-pack, Jimmy and Jay Uso. This is a sweet 2-pack. I really enjoy this. I love the Usos. They're a great tag team, and they definitely deserve to be immortalized in pop form. And these pops look good. I mean, they capture the Usos look perfectly.
Coming in at number 6 on my list is the previews exclusive Dark Leonardo. This is a really cool pop. I mean, MD did mention some good points there. This pop is really cool with the detail, though, which is why it's at least almost close to the middle of the list.
Coming in at number 6 on my list, I have the Campaign Eddie Deluxe Pop. This is really cool. I do feel like Funko is kind of milking Eddie Pops right now, but this one is still great. It looks awesome, and it'll definitely be ending up in my collection at some point because I just need to add it to the Stranger Things collection. And like I said earlier, I do wish that it was kind of like a Build-A-Scene, but at the same time, it's a pretty cool standalone pop.
Coming in at number 5 is the Funko Shop exclusive God Loki Pop Deluxe from Loki Season 2. I mean, what a season, like I mentioned about Loki Season 2. Crazy. And so I'm glad to see the different pops that are coming out, and I'm sure there's going to be a ton more.
Halfway through the list now, coming in at number 5 on my list, I have Bob Cratchit with Tiny Tim. This is awesome. I love the new set of Muppets Christmas Carol pops. I think that they are great, and it's awesome to see a new Kermit pop. I think that that is amazing. Bob Cratchit, and you get Tiny Tim as well, which is so cool. They really give you the bang for your buck with this set. There's a lot of really banger pops in this set, and Bob Cratchit and Tiny Tim are definitely not excluded from that. This is really cool.
Coming in at number 4 on my list, it is the Funko Shop exclusive Glow in the Dark Marley Brothers 2-pack from the Muppets Christmas Carol. This is a really cool 2-pack. You got 2 characters that technically have never been made into pop form before, whether it is for Christmas Carol or regular Muppet set. So that's really cool.
Coming in at number 4 on my list is also the Funko Shop exclusive Marley Brothers Glow in the Dark 2-pack. Yeah, DK summed it up pretty well. It's so great to see these characters getting pops. I would like to see them in their normal form for the Muppets lineup, but getting them as the Marley Brothers is really sweet. And this is Glow in the Dark. I hope the glow on this looks cool. They are like a blue, like a light blue kind of white color. So I don't know exactly how good the glow will be, but hopefully it's amazing.
Coming in at number 3 on my list, it is the Professor Utonium from the Powerpuff Girls NFT set. Really cool. It's a character that has never been made into pop form before. And of course, I'm loving the Funko NFTs. Of course, you guys see the videos we do on the channel all the time as terms to the Funko NFTs whenever a drop happens. And yeah, this was definitely a fan favorite.
Coming in at number 3 on my list is the Netflix exclusive Eddie cover. I'm not in love with this pop because it is the same molding that we've seen for Eddie a few times now, but I do think altogether this looks cool. I like how you get to see the cover there for Stranger Things 4. The pop itself looks cool, how you do get like the upside down vibe to it, and overall it's just pretty good, and it's gonna end up being in my collection at some point.
Coming in at number 2 on my list, it is the Bob Cratchit with Tiny Tim from the Muppets Christmas Carol. I mean, my favorite character when it comes to the Muppets is Kermit the Frog. This is Kermit in that movie. So it was really cool to see something of Kermit as terms to pop form again, especially a way more affordable one than either the OG, the superhero Kermit, or I think there was a metallic one that's like limited to some odd pieces. I can't exactly remember.
Coming in at number 2 on my list, I have the Professor Utonium NFT pop for the Powerpuff Girls lineup. This pop is sick. This is the best one out of the set of pops. In my opinion, it's great to see that Professor Utonium is getting a Funko Pop. It's well deserved. Of course, we've seen the Powerpuff Girls a couple times. We've seen a couple different Mojo Jojos. We've seen him as well as a chase version of him. So now it's great to see Professor Utonium, who is a focal point of the show, of course, creating the Powerpuff Girls.
Coming in at number 1, I'm feeling very oozy. Jimmy and Jay Uso 2-pack is my number 1 pick, of course. Like I mentioned, we did the wishlist pod earlier this year for 2023, and I wanted to see an Usos 2-pack. It made sense because of the popularity of the bloodline. It made sense for Usos, who have been in the company for so long, to finally get immortalized into pop form. The pops look great, and you can definitely tell the difference between Jimmy and Jay Uso.
Coming in at number 1 for the month of November 2023, on my list, I have the Amazon exclusive flocked Charles Dickens with Rizzo. It's amazing to see a flocked Muppets pop in the year of 2023. It's been so long since we've seen Muppet pops and flocked ones. So this is just so cool. I'm super excited about this. Like I said, I really want to see more Muppets pops going forward, whether it is for some of their like movies or just the Muppet Show. I don't really care. Just give me that Muppets content with these pops and I'll be happy. And the flock Charles Dickens is amazing. I think that the detail on this pop looks great. And the flocking, I think, is going to be amazing as well. Oh, I'm so excited about this. I can't wait to have this pop in my hands.
Anyways, guys, that is going to be the end of this edition of a Funko Podcast. If you enjoyed our top 10 list for this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know your favorite pops for the month of November 2023. And we hope to see you guys on another edition of a Funko Podcast or just a video in general on the channel. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here.
You, Soldier Boy, tell him. Peace in, peace out.